Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Spyro for Year of the Dragon, Part 34. Gonna be taking on these challenges, and all we win from these challenges is just a crap load of gems. Tons of gems, way more than we get from any single level or single challenge anywhere else in this game. It's like one more egg left in this entire game, and no one really knows where it is. We're going to be doing another submarine challenge. This is pretty much just a carbon copy of that submarine challenge we did in the Lost Fleet level. We're going to be driving around in a submarine or swimming around in a submarine, whatever you call it. We're going to be using those crosshairs and going to be targeting a bunch of targets. These targets down here, these, I'm guessing they're Rhinox maybe, or they're not Rhinox, they're thieves probably. They're probably just a bunch of little thieves. They're driving around in these submarines, and we're supposed to get close to them, home in on them, and then fire a torpedo at them, destroy them. They give us tons of gems. What else would they give us? Gems seems to be the only thing we're after now. It's like this game suddenly forgot it was about eggs, and it just thinks, oh, well, there's gems in this game too. So let's just give them a bunch of gems. Wait, and these gems are kind of useless other than just a large number that fills up your screen and adds to your overall progress this game. We have this game more than 100% complete at this point. You need to get the game 100% complete to access this bonus area, which we did that. It's very reminiscent of the original Spyro the Dragon, when you could go to Nasty's loot from getting the game 100% complete. This is a level that elevates every so often, or every time you reach a new height in the level, you get to fly higher and collect more gems. This bonus level doesn't really do that. But there is a lot of stuff to find. It's mostly just racing after the thieves and going after these. Well, I'm guessing we are going to. Yeah, I just saw one. The thieves just fell out, and now he's stuck in the icy cold water. Imagine this water is icy cold. Probably not filled with acid, boiling acid, like the Lost Fleet was filled with. It's going on to a chase of these guys. I'm not even sure if it's possible to get killed in this level. I've crashed this submarine and dinged it up so many times on the walls, and yet somehow it still works perfectly. And Spyro was able to control this thing despite the fact he's a quadruped. I don't even think he has opposable hands. I mean, Insomniac Games claimed they didn't want to make any more Spyro games because Spyro couldn't hold a gun. Yeah, he can't hold a gun, but he could somehow control a yoke of a submarine and a yoke of an airplane, the yoke of so many other things he could possibly drive. He drove a cannon and a tank and other things. And having 4 paws, 4 claws, or whatever you called him, the dragon, didn't seem to stop him from doing any of those things. Was he really incapable of using a gun? I don't know. Maybe they could have made Spyro. I mean, imagine that Spyro grew older, he might be able to. You see the other dragons in this game, the adult dragons, they seem to be able to stand on 2 legs, and they seem to have what appears to be opposable thumbs, opposable hands. We saw they were able to work equipment. Even the original Spyro, we saw they were able to work equipment, like camcorder equipment or video footage recording equipment, so they could film stuff. Oh boy, this is the worst part of the entire game. This stupid race. It's never one of the races like we've done, at least, we've done one in the Lost Fleet. This is just like the Lost Fleet level, only it's much more harsh this time around. We're going against those Yetis, the Sasquatch 6 Yetis. They're no nonsense. And we don't use a skateboard this time. We just use a downright hoverboard thing. It's like a hover snowboard or some rocket snowboard or something like that. It pretty much functions the exact same way the skateboard functions when we were doing the racing earlier. Just do a bunch of Tony Hawk style tricks and do so much of flips and whoop-de-doos, and you get turbo. There's also a lot of gems hiding on the racetrack. This took me several attempts to get through all of this. I mostly just take a few attempts just so I could collect the gems that are hiding here. You still have to collect all these gems. These gems are very petty compared to what we're going to be winning. We're still expected to collect every little gem. No gem is to be left behind. No gem left behind. And then we're going to stay true to our word of getting absolutely everything in this game. I said I would film myself getting absolutely every single piece of progress you could possibly get in Spyro 3, and I intend to stay true to my word, and that's what I'm going to be doing, collecting every last gem, every last measly little gem on this race course. It involves me flying off the course several times, like if this were Jet Moto. Yeah, this is the closest we ever got to Jet Moto 4, where you go flying over, where you control some kind of sci-fi jet ski thing. You're constantly getting flipped around, you constantly knock your guys over. They originally had it planned where it's like, oh, if you fall off the track once, you're dead. At least in Jet Moto, it's how they planned it. And they thought, the game would be too hard if they did that. And right they were. Jet Moto is a brutally hard game. This level also tried to be brutally hard. You could spend years of your life trying to play this game. I know I spent years of my life trying to complete this race. And it took years before I finally won. That's how challenging this is. I can imagine my grandma's relatives would come over. They'd probably be watching me playing this game. They'd probably think, oh, this is some kind of racing game. And they'd be partially right, because this is some kind of racing game. The game completely forgets the 3D platformer at this point and just thinks, oh, well, we have racing, so we're just going to make you do racing nonstop. Race all day, every day, nonstop racing. And they'd be completely oblivious to the fact this game was secretly a 3D platformer all along. Or so it would seem. It's collecting, and there's some collecting in here too, some gem collecting. Yeah, I remember those were some pretty funny days where relatives would come over and make fun of the games that I play. That inspired the next Let's Play I'm going to be doing after this, Ori no Ryori. Oh boy, they really hollered at that game. And those days are permanently gone for me. I don't really have much relatives like that anymore that would watch me play games and make fun of them. Sigh, the good old days are long gone. I mean, that's kind of stating the obvious now. All the great heroes state the obvious, and Ray Phoenix is one of the greatest heroes ever, which is why he likes to provide coverage of these kinds of games. And we lost, and now Hunter has to clean all the toilets at Grand Central Station with his tongue as the punishment for losing. And that's gonna, after all these attempts, I did go for several attempts. I iterated for this level several times. I did collect every single gem that was lying around. That's how dedicated I am to this game. I must collect every single gem. It took several attempts. I'm not gonna torture you all by having you sit there and watch me go through this entire pain of a level. This whole level is a living embodiment of what pain is. And Spyro's just flying around on some like rocket snowboard thing. It almost reminds me of that Hot Wheels PC that was made in 1999. They had a PC based around Hot Wheels and it ran Windows 98. It's kind of like that. It's had that kind of design that Hot Wheels design. Yeah, I wonder if they'd ever team up with Spyro to make the Spyro car. Does Spyro even drive a car? Well, he probably could drive a car, considering the fact he can drive all those other things that he drives in these games. He's going around picking out each single gem. Just doing the whole nitpicking approach. The only way you can really get this 100% complete and keep remain with your sanity is if you become a nitpicker and find every single thing available. That's what I've done. Zelda games and stuff like this in them too. I'm pretty sure Banjo-Kazooie and stuff like this too, and even the Toy Story 2 video game had moments like this, these hard moments make you think, how did kids seriously play this and beat them? They probably didn't. They probably did this on purpose, so they make their games seem like they're more for adults. I often think these games are secretly made for adults all along because games on PlayStation were just more commonly associated with adults, and yet the Wikipedia article on Spyro claims that Spyro was made as a way to make PlayStation appeal more to kids because N64 was a system that was more associated with kids at the time, where that kids wanted more. And kids weren't as interested in PlayStation. They wanted to get kids interested in PlayStation, or so that article says. Well, they won me over. I was a PlayStation kid. I never had an N64 when I was a younger kid. I had a PlayStation. I played Spyro all the time on that, and I loved it. All the other guys I knew loved Spyro. I knew tons of people loved Spyro back in the day. He was a household name back in the day. And then the year 2000 came, and after all that, people kind of forgot about Spyro afterwards. Quite a shame that Spyro became gone and long forgotten. Then again, I guess that could be for the better sometimes. At least the series didn't drag on way too long. I'm going to do another attempt at these races. We're going to find the purple gem, which makes you think of purple Powerade or purple Gatorade, which is something I've been drinking a lot when I play these games. I think something tells me this is going to be the time I finally win. The secret to winning is at the beginning of the track, just press and hold, I think it's the triangle button, and you do a backflip several times over, and it's going to completely fill up your turbo, and then press and hold the square button and don't let go, except when you're in the air and doing those backflips, and then it'll give you a great burst of speed, and a burst of speed is the key to winning this challenge, and throughout the course, throughout the course too, jump in the air and do backflips again, do as many backflips as possible so you'll build up as much turbo energy so you could go flying through the course, getting through this course with flying colors, and then if you get close, those Yetis are not immune to your flame breath, I don't think. If you get close to them, you could flame them and knock them off and have them setting into that dark abyss below, that pure Spyro abyss. When I think of abyss in the context of Spyro, what we're seeing in the back right now perfectly describes that. We've seen backgrounds like that ever since the original Spyro, and they're present in this game too. I mean, the series really stayed true to its identity. I guess I could give them credit for that. Every series needs to have an identity, and this game did a good job at maintaining the series identity. And I think I'm in first place, and I just need to maintain first place. This is arguably one of the hardest racing challenges I've done. I don't think well, it might not be harder than those racing challenges in that Ridge Racer game for the PSP that seemed pretty much impossible. I remember this as challenging as trying to win those Phantom courses, those Phantom track race courses in Wipeout XL. Oh yeah, I remember spending a whole afternoon on my Raspberry Pi back when I used to constantly play PS1 games on my Raspberry Pi, and I'd sit in front of the TV for hours on end trying to win at Wipeout XL, and I eventually did. Now I have Wipeout XL 100% complete. I think I eventually did that on real hardware as well too sometime later. Oh boy, I love playing Wipeout XL. It's a game that encouraged me to drink Red Bull because it was in Wipeout XL. I didn't even know it was a real drink until sometime later. I just knew about it because of Wipeout XL. And I think I just won. Yes, I won. Of course, now he's glad he doesn't have to continue to use his tongue to clean all the toilets at Grand Central Station. Of course he's glad. That alone is a worthy prize for what we did. And now we're going to be getting, he just says a bunch of insults towards them. It's like he tried to break the world record for saying the most amount of insults in a row. Then we're going to be getting the gems dumped on us. Yeah, it's all dumping the fruit basket of gems into us. I wonder how many gems that is. It's way more gems than anything Moneybags could have possibly have had. I wonder what he's doing these days ever since we chased him out of the game. And he's probably scared nowadays. He's probably too scared to go against Spyro. After that traumatizing whooping we gave him in the last video, I don't think he's gonna even consider going against Spyro again. He's just gonna go and retire with absolutely nothing. Probably has a net worth that's equivalent to a USD value of $18. Maybe less. Maybe even $4, who knows? He's did something. I mean, the guy that founded Burger King only had like $2 in his pocket, and somehow he was able to form a multinational worldwide empire. I think there's some more. Oh yeah, here's there's those sheep flying saucers everywhere. Just gonna reenact the Metropolis level from Spyro 2. We had to go against the sheep flying saucers. This is the first time I've ever seen those sheep flying saucers outside of the Speedway levels. So I guess they really weren't just things Hunter made up or things that seem to only come after Hunter. Spyro knows about them. He remembers them from the Metropolis level in Spyro 2. And we're gonna go after them and kill them and get all the gems that are magically able to fly. I just wonder how those ships are able to fly with all those gems. Those gems must weigh a ton, and yet somehow they're still aerodynamic and still able to fly. Then again, it doesn't really make any sense how a flying saucer like that would be able to fly anyways. It kind of breaks the laws of physics anyways. And since when did the laws of physics ever mean anything to the people of this game? I don't think they cared about that, and quite frankly, I don't really care about that either. It's pretty easy too, they're not even making much effort. It's like they want to get blasted down. So I got all 5,000 gems. That was 5,000 gems. Seems kind of skimpy for what I've collected. And look at this, the sorceress is somehow back. She somehow returned. Somehow she survived that battle we got, and now she's back and she wants to get revenge on us. Oh boy, sweet revenge. Little does she know she's getting revenge against a dragon. No one ever successfully gets revenge against Spyro the Dragon, right? It's gonna make us fly the ship. Oh yeah, Spyro flying another ship. Yeah, Insomniac seems to love Spyro flying things or controlling things. Gonna get in here and fly and destroy that evil sorceress. It also has a ship somehow too. We're gonna be doing some dog fighting over that pink goo. It's like something they'd use to unfreeze Austin Powers with. Maybe Austin Powers is frozen in that goo somewhere and we have to unfreeze him. She's flying here, shooting where you know she's gonna fly to, and then hit her right there. I already took out a third of her health, and she took out a third of my health too. Maybe a little more than that too, because I have that extra health, that health booster they gave me. You know, Insomniac Games loves putting health boosters in their games. They did it in Disruptor. They even did it in Ratchet and Clank. I guess it's staying true to what Insomniac likes to do as well too. Just destroy the sorceress. She just likes to orbit me, and sometimes she likes to get a couple hits there. There we go. Give her a little hit, knock a little sense into her. That sorceress is flying around. I don't think she's really a threat to anyone anymore after we gave her that good scolding and destroyed her empire that she probably had. She's not going to rule the dragon worlds or become immortal or do any of that stuff. And Dragonkind is just as powerful as it's ever been. And Spyro is going to, defeat her. Like what he's done to every other villain he's seen just thus far. I don't know what her health is yet, 'cause it's trying to blend in so low, it's blending in with all with that pink goo and the pink goo we're flying over. Yeah, pink goo. I wonder how that compares to lava or acid or stuff like that. It's just pink goo. It's probably deadly, I might imagine. Anything that looks like that's automatically deadly in your Spyro's logic. She's gonna crash her ship. She's gonna fall and sink into the goo. Maybe we'll freeze it after, just she'll stay frozen there for thousands of years. And Yin Yang, you rescued a dragon named Yin Yang. Oh, it's two little dragons in there. Yeah, two dragons and one egg. Siamese twins, I guess, or something like that, or some kind of twins, maybe. I mean, they're not Siamese twins, but they seem like they could have been. We're back in the dragon worlds all of a sudden, where all the kid dragons are playing around the adult dragons, and Spyro's giving one dragon a piggyback ride, just running around, and the dragon chief, I think, seems impressed. Looks like he could be Spyro's father, because he's purple like Spyro and the same horn color. Maybe he is like an adult version of Spyro or something like that, I don't know. I didn't really see Spyro becoming an adult, so it's kind of unknown whatever happened to Spyro in the long run. Maybe he did after this game was over. It's showing us the credits again. This took the credits, the exact same credits they showed us earlier. They didn't even make any attempt to change them, made us sit for them again, just like they did in Spyro 1. Only in Spyro 1 they were a little bit more creative by changing the backgrounds and making us see different levels in the game the second time around. But no, they didn't even bother to do that. They just gave the exact same thing they gave the first time around. They gave the exact same music too, exact same everything. All these credits, it's like they really want us to know who worked on this game. I didn't think it was worth sitting through and yapping about these awesome credits. Yeah, they're good, but we already saw them before. Is it really necessary for us to see them again? So I'm just gonna fast forward through these. We could still get everything out of them. We already know how awesome this game is, and that Insomniac Games really put their heart and soul into this, and then they say, yes, we hope you've liked this Spyro trilogy. Hope you like Spyro in general, because there won't be any more of it. And we're gonna go on and make other stuff now, so let's just go play that instead and visit our website too. That's kind of what they're saying. Yeah, this is Spyro 3. Spyro 3 is officially over now. We got absolutely everything in the game. This masterpiece is now complete. This might very well be the greatest game I've ever Let's Played. I said that a lot during my Ratchet Deadlocks Let's Play. Maybe it's really this. Yeah, I don't know. Let's gonna let my viewers decide that. What is the greatest game I've ever Let's Played? Sleepless Years. Yeah, I can imagine being sleepless when I make these Let's Plays. Yeah, if I became the Insomniac Games of YouTube Let's Plays. The adventure continues. It's going to dump us back into the Midnight Mountain. Not as we became the game, because the original Spyro did. Spyro 2 is the only Spyro game that doesn't make us sit through the credits twice, because it's one of many things Spyro 2 truly did right. Use our atlas, it shows our guidebook, it shows everything we've done in the entire game. 111% complete. Yeah, I get more than 100% complete. Just like in the original Spyro, our hero takes a rest, and the sun is shining brightly over the level. There's clouds over it too. Yeah, a very poetic scene to end a game. Let's look at where we have our save data. And look, there we go, 117%. Yep, I got this game 117%. Thanks for watching this Let's Play of Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon. Ray Phoenix, signing out.